purpose of this video is to give y'all some helpful hints on what to do, because a lot of companies out here are going to give you zero training. None. They're not going to tell you how to do any of the things that I'm going to describe in this video. They're not going to tell you how to get the pads. They're going to give you janky directions. So this is me helping out. That's all. Because in a couple days, we're not doing this no more. So I want to do it while it's fresh in my brain. When you first pick up your chassis, make sure you check. Make sure you got your pole. Okay? Make sure you got your pole. If you're doing the sandbox, the sand logistics folks, make sure you have your ladder. Check the tires. Make sure they're good. Check your lights. All your lights. Check your ABS. Make sure some of you ain't unplugged it. Because there's a good chance you're going to be at a facility that can work on the chassis. So make sure while you're there you get them, you make sure everything is working, because a lot of times it's a long drive back to a facility that can work on these things. Some things they can do on location, but it depends if there's a mechanic there or not. A lot of times not. But just make sure all your equipment is in top-notch shape. I want to give you a couple tips on these Halliburton boxes. Just because I've only got this thing for a few more days. So one thing is, if you're trying to figure out which side of the box to open, it opens from the side with the nameplate. See, there's no nameplate over there. But we'll come over here to the other side. Sorry, I'm trying to make you sick. And there's the plate. Now, this is the side that the box will open up on. And then you'll close it from the other side, obviously. Now, another thing to watch is here. These. Watch these. A lot of times the Halliburton guys, they like to loosen all the ways down, all the way down, these nuts here. You want them tight. See, these guys, a lot of them are lazy, and they'll bring them all the way to the bottom. As you can see, they'll bring them all the way to the bottom. That way, they don't have to lift up on this to turn it to open it. And always make sure that these things are closed. You want it to look just like that, because you could lose this box. Now, I've only got one hand holding. I've only got one hand holding this thing. Say you're having an issue closing your box, and instead of sitting there on the side, keep trying it. You want to go from the corner. Just stick it right there in that corner. At an angle, right behind that the thing that sticks up that they stack these things on. Just stick it right in that corner, and you'll get under it every time and just flip it over. You'll have better leverage, and notice how my pole sticks way the hell out. Well, this is a brand new pole, so it's extra long. Most guys have cut them off here. Now, I forgot my hacksaw at home, or I would have cut it off already. When you've got a long pole like this, they get bent. These guys hit them, and then you're screwed, and you have to cut them off. So try to get a short pole. If you're doing the Halliburton sandboxes, open that front lid. It just seems to ride better. Now, if you get your pole under there and it just doesn't seem like it'll go, or you can't get that front lid to open, stop. Just open the back one. Because a lot of times what happens is the lids break. There's only 2 bolts up there. It's ridiculous. the bolts will break and you won't be able to get it open. And if you can, sometimes they'll just flip off. And we had one where they flipped it and the dang on lid came right on down. That was fun. So if you have any trouble at all open the front lid, just open the back one. If you have trouble with the back one as well, then you're going to have to find a ladder rack and get up there. But be careful. One thing you're going to need when you're hauling sand boxes or Halliburton boxes is a lot of patience. It's a lot of waiting, a lot of sitting around. You're gonna wait here, you're gonna wait there. There's a lot of frustration. Like I said, when it comes to boxes, you have to be very prepared for
Station 3, you got an inbound 4.
stupidity. They had me pull in here. This is just an example. And usually we can turn around, but I need every inch of that. And that guy right there, I mean, it's not his fault. He's in the way. Let me roll down the window for you. But these foolish folks don't realize escorts do what they're told, even if it's wrong. So you have to be careful of that. And there's Petey. Petey, what are you doing? Fix your ear. He's like, I want to be on the camera. Petey. He's like, Petey likes the boxes because I only get out of the truck. So you're not going to get any exercise. So, hop Petey. The only exercise I get is when I walk Petey around or take the 3 seconds to open up my lid. Make sure you have some basic tools with you: a crowbar, a hammer, a hacksaw, because you might have to, say the tip breaks off of your pole if you're doing Halliburton boxes, or you can cut that in there in an angle, and then that'll allow you to be able to open and close your boxes again. And if the pole gets bent on the end where you can't get the pole back out, you just lop it off and you'll be good. Plus, you're running a hammer and a crowbar, especially in the winter months, because they get all that sand on top, and then it gets snow or freezes or whatever, and then you can't open up the boxes, and you got to get up there and you got to chisel all that crap out of there so you can open and close the boxes. On these boxes, you need to take your time, especially when you're first starting out. They're top heavy as heck. You can get, like, you go over a bump, they're gonna move all around, especially Halliburton ones. They're terrible. They're not very stable, and guys take turns too quick, and this thing will flip right on over. What do you want, Petey? I turn this thing on. Petey wants to come over. Come here, Petey. He's like, you trying to make a video, be all creative, but I need attention. Just be careful. Take your time. Be careful going on bumps and that. Make sure your stuff is locked. I don't like the Halliburton boxes that much. They're not that stable. And watch your ground clearance. These are lowboy trailers. I was on a pad, a couple years ago when we first started these, and a guy got screwed up, went down the wrong road, tried to come back out, he got stuck. The road wasn't, there was a little bump in the road, the trailer went right on top of it, and he was done. They ended up having to tow him out of there. There was nothing he could do. So you got to be real careful pulling these boxes. You got to take your time. Pulling boxes is probably the easiest thing you could do out here in oil field. Maybe water bottles the other.
Yeah, I'll be going to the halfway.
Just take your time and enjoy it. Have something to do and be safe.